Hey vinyl community, this video is going to be a response to a thread from my good friend Aaron Muth-Alamer, and Aaron wants us to show our super grails. Now, what is a super grail? A super grail is not just any ordinary grail, an album that we have at the top of our want list. It is one that we would postpone 3 mortgage payments to obtain. We would postpone a vacation. We would sell our car to get this grail. We would sell one of our children to get one of these grails. I mean, we're talking serious stuff here. So Aaron's not messing around, and neither am I. These are a few of my grails that I have been looking high and low for, or I've seen on Discogs and eBay for a ridiculous amount of money that there is no way I am going to pay. But I'm going to put it on here anyway because I do want these albums desperately. I hope I can find them. Who knows what the circumstances might be, how I somehow get my hands on one of these, but I can always dream, you know. And at the top of every Beatle fans list has got to be, of course, an authentic copy of the Beatles Butcher cover, Yesterday and Today. I would love to have a copy of this. This is a lifelong dream of mine, to own an original, authentic Butcher cover in decent condition. Not pasted over or a hack job trying to peel off the original cover. Just a nice Butcher cover. And who am I kidding? I would take one that was pasted over. I would take one. I'm pretty much willing to tolerate a lot when it comes to getting my hands on an authentic Butcher cover. So I'm not going to be all that picky. But it's one of those that I always hope to get. Speaking of the Beatles, I would also like to get my hands on Let It Be Naked album on vinyl. I have it on CD. One of these albums, when it came out, I wish I would have had the presence of mind to get it on vinyl, never imagining that it would fetch what it is currently going for on Discogs and eBay. I mean, we're talking like $500 in some cases, which is just ridiculous. Let It Be Naked, of course, was the cleaned up version of the Beatles' Let It Be album. They took all of Phil Spector's polish and production, the choirs, all the instruments and stuff that he put on the record afterwards that so many people complained about, and that Paul McCartney in particular was never happy with. In some cases, they've substituted alternate takes, or they did a hybrid. They blended together 2 separate takes to come up with one good take. So in some ways, it is not any less a overproduced, overwrought album than the original was. It's just something different, and it's packaged pretty nicely, and it is very coveted, obviously, by Beatles fans, because you don't see that many out there. I've never seen one in the wild, and the ones that I see online are ridiculous. So another one for me. Getting into some Beach Boys, I have always been chasing after a copy of Stack O Tracks, which is actually kind of a Beach Boys karaoke album. It's just the instruments. There are no vocals on it, which sounds kind of ironic because the Beach Boys were known mostly for their vocal harmonies, and to have that stripped of all vocals seems a little bit weird, but it's a rare album. I don't think it sold very well when it came out, so there's not a whole lot of copies floating around. The ones that are out there are pretty expensive. I always am hoping I will find one out at one of the record stores or thrift stores that I frequent, but you know, so far I have not been that lucky. Another Beach Boys album that I covet is Carl and the Passion So Tough, from 1972, I think it was, but just really hard to get my hands on this one. I've got it on CD, but it was originally packaged along with Pet Sounds as a 2-for-1 deal, but never ever seen this on vinyl out in the wild. So another one that I would love to have. The next one would be one of the early Rolling Stones albums, any of the early Rolling Stones albums in decent condition. I don't know why. And I know, I guess, a little bit why, is because the Beatles sold more records than the Rolling Stones did. But any Rolling Stones records, I'm talking the early London records and the American catalog, any of those early records are just beat up pretty badly. You got spine splits, ring wear, the covers are worn pretty badly. The record is in not the greatest condition. Just a whole host of different imperfections that I'm finding on a lot of the Rolling Stones early albums that I see out in the wild. All I would love a decent copy of Out of Our Heads that presents well, VG Plus. Maybe near mint is too good to expect. It's asking too much, but I would love a nice clean copy of that one. I would love a clean copy of the Rolling Stones' first album. That would be nice to have. But any of those early ones, Rolling Stones Now, 12 by 5, December's Children, any of those early ones would be super nice to have. But anyway, those are my list. Those are my grails, my super grails. Love to know what yours are. Jump on Aaron's thread. He's a great guy, and this is a fun one to have everybody participate in. So anyway, those are my picks. Hope you're doing great. Everybody take care.